Hey there, it's Jennifer from the blog The Everyday Farmhouse. Today we're going to be making bars of gentle baby soap. This is a super easy soap to make. It's great for beginners. Even if you have a lot of experience, I think this is a great recipe. It has 3 oils. It has olive oil, tallow, and shea butter in it. And then of course your lye solution. It comes together quick. It has a cure time of 4 to 6 weeks, although I did use mine earlier than that and I think it works well. The longer cure time is good just to make sure it's gentle and to make sure it stays nice and hard and doesn't dissolve quickly. But overall, this is a good long-lasting bar, very nourishing and simple to make. I'm going to walk you through step by step how to make this, give you all the percentages and measurements, and we can do that now. So let's get started. All right, to get started, gather all your ingredients. You also need an immersion blender, rubber gloves, some safety glasses, a rubber spatula, and like a plastic spoon to stir. So we're going to start off with our lye solution. So you're going to measure out your distilled water, and I do this on a digital scale with grams. So for the water, I needed 300 grams of distilled water, or 10.58 ounces. Then your sodium hydroxide always goes into the water. Think of snow falling on a lake. Okay, so that's 131 grams of sodium hydroxide or 4.62 ounces, always done by weight. After I do that, I like to measure out all of my oils, and I do this in separate containers just so I don't get confused or make any mistakes. You don't have to do it that way. It doesn't have to be that precise, but it just helps me, especially if I'm doing a video, that I don't get confused or make any mistakes while I'm filming. So I do mine in separate containers, and then I pour it into the pot that I'm going to melt this on the stove in. And sometimes I use a little hot plate so that I can do it here in front of the camera, but it just doesn't work as well as my gas stove. And so I'm going to melt all these oils down together while my lye solution is cooling. I set that aside near an open window, and you want them to be around the same temperature. You want your lye and your oils to be around the same temperature. So set your lye aside, and then once your oils are melted, set those aside. They're going to have to cool down some. You want it to be around 115 to 125 degrees. That's around the best temperatures for making soap. I like mine as close to 120 as I can get. And so that just takes a little bit of time to let them both cool to that temperature, because for everything to melt, you're going to get it up around 150 for those oils, especially the tallow, for it to melt down well. So once you have those about within 10 degrees of each other, then you're going to put your safety glasses on and get your rubber gloves and your immersion blender. And it's a good idea to have your mold nearby as well. And if you're adding any essential oils, you're going to want to add that in during this time as well. So I'm checking my temperatures to see if they're pretty close to each other, and got my mold ready. And so you always want to kind of tap your immersion blender and get the bubbles out, and then start pouring your lye into that. And if this is your first time making soap, you're going to be looking for something called trace, which you can see right now. I'm using my blender, and it's pretty liquidy at this point. The ingredients are just mixing together, so you don't see a whole lot of change. Once it's mixed together pretty well, I'm going to add in my essential oils. I'm using 8 to 10 grams of lavender essential oil. If you're making this for a baby, you might want to omit the fragrance altogether. That's less than half an ounce, about 0.35 ounces. So you just keep mixing this, and sometimes I like to give my blender a break and just stir a little bit. This comes to trace slowly because there's not a lot of additives that would speed up trace in this. And if your temperature is just right, it won't come to trace really fast either. I have people send me comments a lot saying their soap has seized up or whatever. I would suggest that your temperature was too hot if that's what's happening, especially in a soap like this. It should not come to trace quickly. So what trace is it's just looking for it to be thick, kind of like pudding almost, where if you lift up your mixer and let it drizzle on top, it's going to make a pattern. You're going to be able to see that it's thick enough that's leaving a pattern on the top. So as you can see, that's where I am now with this. And to me, it's better to be at a little thinner trace than it is too thick of a trace. It's just easier to pour into the mold if it's a little bit thinner. So this looks good to me. And so I'm just going to mix it up a little bit more just to make sure it's really incorporated, that my oils are all mixed together. And then I'm going to pour this into my mold, which is, I think my mold's about 35 ounces. So this recipe should just fit in there. So once you get every little drop of your batter poured into your mold, I like to clean up the side of it a little bit, just to make sure I don't have any drips left on there, and just get ready to clean up. And so then I tap my mold down on the counter just to make sure any air bubbles that might be in there rise to the top. And then I get a little skewer and I just swirl it back and forth in there. It just makes the top of the soap look a little bit prettier. And then I get a piece of cardboard that I just reuse over and over for my soaps so it doesn't look very nice, just to protect it from the towel. So I just wrap this in a towel and set it aside. Now, something that happened with this that I'm actually glad happened so that you can see what it looks like. I let it sit for 24 hours to saponify, and then I open it up and it looks nice and hard, but I can tell that it has gone through gel phase, which gel phase is great if you're making soap with color. It makes the colors more vivid. I don't find that gel phase is necessary to make a super hard bar of soap. Others would disagree with me on that. If I'm making a soap that has milk in it, I oftentimes put it in the fridge or the freezer to keep it from going through gel phase so that it doesn't burn. But what you're going to notice when I cut into this bar is that the outside is very white and the inside looks kind of translucent, or it's darker. Don't be alarmed if you see that. That just means it's gone through gel phase and maybe not all the way to that very outer edge. You can see that the inside is a darker color. As this soap cured week after week, it turned out just fine. It's more of a solid color, and you can see that in my pictures at the end, that darkness in the center went away. So if something like that happens when you're making soap, don't be alarmed. It's perfectly fine. You didn't do anything wrong. It just might seem a little bit alarming at first. So this soap turned out very well, and I've been using it and I really enjoy it. And I think it's great for babies and just leaves your skin feeling so nice and soft and smooth. So you can see I don't have any fancy cutting equipment. I just use the cutter that came with my mold, and I just kind of eyeball it. You could, have a thing that measures, and you could have perfect bars. And maybe if you were selling it, you'd want to do that. We just use ours for our personal use, or I give it away to people sometimes. And so rustic looking bars are just fine for us. Anyway, I hope you like this soap. I hope you give it a try, and let me know in the comment if you have any questions. So I got 12 bars of soap out of this batch, and as you can see, after it has cured for the full time, it looks just fine. You can see a tiny bit around the edge that's a little bit more white than what's in the middle, but the soap is good to use.